Villagers in Bedfordshire who were cut off from the gas supply over Christmas are calling for compensation.
Some people in Caddington, just outside Luton, were without gas or electricity all over the festive period after water got into the supply pipes. Kate Prout reports.
Playtime in the snow at Caddington Village School and central heating indoors to dry off, but that wasn't the case in the days leading up to Christmas.
You couldn't really go out in the snow when it snowed because you couldn't warm up again, so you had to stay inside and keep dry.
It was probably one of the worst Christmases.
The weekend before Christmas, water got into the main gas supply pipe and froze, cutting off supply to more than 1,200 homes. Jean Howes was one of the lucky ones. Her neighbours brought round hot meals and she was back on by Christmas Day. Like many people, Jean is thinking about applying for compensation. Local councillor Richard Stay is calling for a quick reimbursement for those left out of pocket.
What I've said to the utilities is that they need to meet, get their act together in private and not play out their differences around compensation in front of residents of Caddington.
And the incident has left its mark in other ways. I was last here on Christmas Eve when these roads were full of large National Grid vans and engineers. Today, the village looks like it's been attacked by a whole load of industrial-sized moles. Tony Hansen and his friends organised and cooked Christmas dinner for 100 people at the village school.
The community spirit in this village has totally blown away the engineers who were here. They were totally amazed at how they were being treated and how the whole village was pulling together.
Work continues to repair the damage done. A Christmas many here will never forget. Kate Prout, Anglia News, Caddington and Bedfordshire.
And there's plenty of community spirit around it, which is great to see.
Plenty of snowballs coming up later as well. Stay with us this chilly Thursday evening.
Here's what's still to come your way.
More news now from Essex, Suffolk and Norfolk. And an internet campaign has been launched to change a school's policy on coats.
All pupils at Thurstable School in Tiptree near Colchester have to wear the school's official coat. But some pupils and parents say that in these sub-zero temperatures, they're not warm enough and the rules should be changed. Lorna Ramsey has this report.
School's out. And for Alex Beard from Great Totham near Malden, that means he can wear whatever coat he likes. And in these temperatures, he needs something warm. But when he's at Thurstable School in Tiptree, he has to wear this, which he says leaves him shivering.
It's like wearing a plastic bin bag. It's only got that and a fleece underneath it, so it's not very warm.
The uniform was brought in 2 years ago after a consultation with parents and pupils.
I completely agree that there needs to be a uniform and that they need to be smart, and it stops bullying with all of the logos and everything else. But in sub-temperatures here, you know, sub-zero temperatures, I don't think that it's appropriate that what they're wearing is keeping them warm.
Thurstable School is closed today. The head teacher, Miles Bacon, insists the uniform is warm enough if all 6 layers, including a jumper, thermal fleece and blazer, are worn together. He added, this is to make sure students appear to be what they are, a great bunch of young people. When they're wearing hooded tops or coats with big logos on, they don't look that way, and the danger is residents can feel threatened by them. Alex has added his support to a campaign on the social networking site Facebook. More than 200 people have signed up, and all hope it will make the school think again about the coats pupils are allowed to wear. Lorna Ramsey, Anglia News, Great Totham.
The father of a man whose body was found in a Chelmsford river has today paid tribute to police and friends. Adam Passfield had been reported missing by his family on December the 19th after failing to return home after a Christmas night out with footballing colleagues in Chelmsford town centre. Officers found the 22-year-old's body in the River Chelmer on New Year's Eve. Adam's father, Kevin, thanked police and friends who took part in the search.
An Essex chef who featured in a scheme to set up by celebrity cook Jamie Oliver was today given a 25-month jail term after a judge heard how he was part of a gang which stole £4 million worth of Cartier jewellery from an airport warehouse. Tom Baisden, who's 28 and from Thundersley, was the inside man as the gang staged a robbery in Southend. Baisden came forward to confess his crime to detectives 7 years later after taking part in Oliver's 15 scheme.
Plans to switch off thousands of street lights across Norfolk in an attempt to save money have prompted concerns in Norwich. The County Council wants to switch off lights in quieter areas between midnight and 5 a.m. and save more than £160,000. But Norwich City Council's written a letter to County Hall raising concerns about a possible increase in crime and road safety problems.
Right, a little sport now, and the dark days of relegation from the Championship are slowly fading from the memories of Norwich City fans, with the club now second in League One.
But one dark cloud's been replaced by two new ones: record debts and the future of the club's manager. Jonathan Blake reports.
They may be doing the business on the pitch, but it's Norwich City's business off it, which may cause a few alarms for their shareholders. A record level of debt totalling £23 million is the headline figure in the club's statement of accounts revealed at Carrow Road today. In the 12 months to the end of May last year, Norwich made a net loss of £5 million, almost double that reported the previous 12 months. They also suffered a loss of sales of £1 million to £18 million. The figures underline what's been a torrid time in the club's history, which included relegation, changes in the boardroom and the loss of two managers. At least supporters have had some joy since, with their team on course for a swift return to the Championship. But Paul Lambert's performance as manager has made him a wanted man. He's odds-on favourite with most bookies to become the new boss at Burnley. So are Norwich directors worried?
If you're a successful football club, your manager's doing well, and he will be linked with every vacant position going. I've had no contact from Burnley. Paul Lambert has had no contact from Burnley.
Meanwhile, steps are already being taken to address City's ailing financial situation.
Clearly, one cannot carry on losing money the way we've been losing, and we intend to stop that. Also, we need to inject further cash into the business, and that can be done in a number of ways. It could be through new owners, it could be through a new equity issue, could be through a bond issue. Equally, it could involve sale of assets and renting them back.
No doubt shareholders will be updated with the finer points at the club's AGM next month. Jonathan Blake, Anglia News, Norwich.
The future of football at King's Lynn looks set to be decided next week. The football club was wound up late last year because of an unpaid tax bill. Since then, interest has been expressed by local businessmen and fans to reform the club. Lynn's ground, The Walks, is owned by the Borough Council.
Well, the winter weather's already claimed 3 of our scheduled Football League games. Peterborough's Championship match at Sheffield Wednesday is off because of public safety concerns. In League One, Southend's home game with Walsall and Colchester's trip to Yeovil are also both off.
Now, if you've been watching our colleagues on the ITV National News this week, you'll